Hi everyone, this is Joe Mateka and I would like to welcome everyone to another episode of Le Prof the Second Football TV. And in today's episode, we are going to talk about three key areas that Arsenal need to strengthen come next season. And the first area that I'm going to start with is the center forward position. And in this position, I have proposed 8 names. And straight away, I'm just going to start with one of the players that we have been linked with. This is none other than Gabriel Jesus of Manchester City. His contract is almost is almost running out at Manchester City, and there are no signs of him extending his contract. We know that Manchester City have just signed one of the best strikers in Europe, that is Erling Braut Haaland, and Gabriel Jesus is not going to play second. I don't think that Gabriel Jesus is going to play second fiddle to any striker, and I know that Gabriel Jesus will want to move to a club where he will be the first choice striker. Now, Gabriel Jesus joined Manchester City in 2017 from Palmeiras in Brazil, and he has gone on to make a record 159 appearances. He has scored 58 goals and provided 29 assists for Manchester United. He arrived at Manchester City when he was just a young boy, at around 20 years old. And at that time, Manchester City had one of the best strikers in Sergio Aguero. And this meant that Gabriel Jesus had to start most of the games maybe from the bench, and his game time was very limited. And also, Pep Guardiola preferred to play with his false striker formation, and it also meant that Gabriel Jesus had to start from the bench. And Gabriel Jesus is such a quality striker. Remember that this season he has played 28 matches. He has managed to score 8 goals and provide 8 assists. And I know that he has Premier League experience, and that if Arsenal were to sign him, then I know that he will add the much needed firing power up front to help Arsenal challenge for the title and be one of the best teams in Europe. Uh, the second player that I'd like to mention is Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen plays for the Serie A side Napoli, and this season he has managed to play 27 matches. He has scored 14 goals and provided 2 assists. He has received 5 yellow cards and 1 red card. And in the Europa League, he has managed to play 5 matches, scored 4 goals, and received 0 yellow cards. This is a player who started his senior career at VfL Wolfsburg in Germany. Then he moved to RSC Charleroi, that is in Belgium. Then to Lille in France. Yeah, where in Lille in France, I thought that he was also one of the best strikers at that time. And this showed by when Napoli paid around 70 million euros to acquire his services, and this is 70 million euros rising to 80 million euros with add-ons, and this makes him the most expensive. This makes it to be the most expensive African transfer. Now, I think that Victor Osimhen is such a quality striker, and that he has been linked with quite a number of clubs as well, quite a number of big clubs as well. And I know that he's one of the strikers that if you are to join a club, then such a high chance of winning the titles and scoring the much needed goals that you need. He's fast when you want to launch those counter attacks. He never stops running, can really pressure the defense, and he scores very many goals from headers, and his finishing is also quite well. And I know that any club that will sign Victor Osimhen will really have such a quality signing in their club. Now to the third player on my list is none other than Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez is 22 years old, and he plays He plays for Portugal club Benfica in the Primeira Liga. This season he has managed to play 28 matches, scored 26 goals, and provided 4 assists. And in the Champions League, he has managed to play 10 matches, scored goal, and score 6 goals. He managed to help Benfica reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League, where they were knocked out by the finalists Liverpool Football Club. And I think out of all these strikers that I'm going to mention today, I think that Darwin Núñez stands out as the best. I've watched some of his highlights online on YouTube and from the games as well that he has played in, and I think that Darwin Núñez is such a world-class striker, and that he's a player that you really need in your club. He has attracted plenty of interest across Europe. Real Madrid were interested in him, and several other clubs, Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, they have all been linked to this player. And this is a player, if you are to acquire his services, then he's a striker that might be the 20 goal a season striker that you need at your club. But him together with Victor Osimhen, I think the biggest stumbling block in signing them would be their huge transfer fee. They are more than likely to their respective clubs be more than likely to ask for for a higher transfer fee, maybe even in the region of £100 million, and this might be, I think, one of the reasons that some of the clubs might fail to sign them. But if they were to sign one of these strikers, then I know that these are quality strikers that you need at your club. Now to player number 3, this is Alexander Isak. Alexander Isak plays for La Liga side Real Sociedad. This season he has managed to play 32 matches. In those 32 matches, he has scored 6 goals and provided 2 assists. And in the Europa League, he has played 6 matches, scored 3 goals, and provided 0 assists. He's also very young. He's only 22 years old, and he has been dubbed the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And I think that Alexander Isak is also quite fast, and I think that he really works very hard. The case with Alexander Isak this season is that I think he has managed to score maybe his goal tally this season. I don't think that it is the best. He's only managed 6 goals this season out of 32 matches. But I know that Alexander Isak is a quality striker, and that he's one of the most sought after strikers in Europe, and that is a striker that you really need at your club. And on to player number 4 this is none other than Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin plays for Premier League side Everton Football Club. Remember that Everton Football Club this season, they have managed to avoid relegation after they won 3-2 against Crystal Palace, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored the winning goal in that match. And I don't think that Frank Lampard will really let him go. I think that now that they have managed to stay in the league, that he'll be a part of the manager's plans come next season. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has managed to play a Premier League record of 164, has managed to make 164 appearances. In these 164 appearances, he has managed to score 45 goals and provide 11 assists. And Calvert-Lewin, maybe one major advantage is Calvert-Lewin is that he already has Premier League experience, and that he doesn't need to take a lot of time to adapt maybe to another league, and this might be one of the maybe top reasons why football clubs are going to go after him. The player number 5 is none other than Richarlison. of Everton Football Club, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's teammate. And Richarlison, I thought he was quite phenomenal. At his time at Watford Football Club, I thought he was quite phenomenal. At that time, he played as a winger. Then he moved to Everton, still managed to play as a winger, but can also play as a striker. He has managed to make 173 appearances. He has scored 48 goals and provided 6 assists. And this season, he has managed to play 30 matches, score 10 goals, and provide 5 assists. And Richarlison is not going to be cheap. To price him away from the Goodison Park this season, Richarlison might command such a huge transfer fee, and I think his quality, because he can play on the flank, he works really hard, and that this is also one of the most sought after strikers this season. Now to player number 6, Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham is a former Chelsea player. I remember that last season he almost moved to Arsenal. I think he was offered to Arsenal, but I don't know why they didn't sign him last season. Then he moved to Serie A side AS Roma, where he's now currently playing under Jose Mourinho. And yesterday he managed to win the UEFA Europa Conference League against that side Feyenoord. And in the Serie A, he has managed to play 37 matches, score 17 goals, provide 4 assists. While in the Coppa Italia, he has played 2 matches and scored 1 goal. And he joined AS Roma last season, and I don't think that Mourinho will really let him go that easily. But he's also one of the best strikers that clubs might try to sign this summer. Then lastly, let me finish with boy Edin Ketia. Edin Ketia has managed to play quite a number of matches this season for Arsenal. Just after Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang left, Lacazette was given a chance. Then he never really impressed that much up front, and this led to Edin Ketia being given a chance to play up front, and he has showed that he can really play with the big boys. And with Edin Ketia, just like I said, that this is a huge decision that needs to be made, because I feel like the club might sign one striker, then they might sign one striker, and if they sign one striker, this means that AD might be the backup striker. I know that with Edin Ketia, this is such a big decision that needs to be made by the club, but I feel like Edin Ketia can really play in the Premier League. He only wants his chance, and that this is evident from the number of goals that he has scored this season. It only shows that he's only waiting to be given that chance, and that the big decision I think this summer is, should we let Edin Ketia leave and sign 2 quality strikers, or do we just sign 1 quality striker and offer Edin Ketia a contract extension? And that is just up to the fans and the football club to decide. And now to another area on the pitch that I feel like if another area on the pitch that I feel like they need to strengthen this season is none other than the central midfielder. I have said that the team really struggles without Thomas Partey, and I say that Granit Xhaka and Mohamed Elneny are quality. They are quality, but I don't think that none of them can really play this central midfielder the way Thomas Partey plays, and that is the reason why I think that they should really sign another central midfielder. Now, we have been linked to the move for Leicester City's Yuri Tillemans. Yuri Tillemans is such a quality player from his time at Leicester City. I think that he's one of the best players at Leicester at the moment, and that him together with Wilfred Ndidi and James Maddison are such a midfield pairing. Wilfred Ndidi usually shields the backline, while Yuri Tillemans plays as a central midfielder. And this season, I think that without Yuri Tillemans in the without Wilfred Ndidi in the team, I think that Yuri Tillemans hasn't really been at his best, because Ndidi usually does the dirty work defending defending the backline, protecting the backline, and this allows Tillemans the freedom to attack. And just going by the few seasons that they've played together, you can see that Leicester City really miss Wilfred Ndidi, and that him together with Yuri Tillemans are such a midfield pairing. This season he has managed to play 32 matches. In those 32 matches he has scored 6 goals and provided 6 assists. And in the Europa League he has managed to play 5 matches and provide 1 assist. Yuri Tillemans is a player that primarily plays as a central midfielder, but he can also play as an attacking midfielder or as a defensive midfielder when called upon. I think that he can fit in the left side of the 4-3-3 formation. Maybe Tillemans, maybe Granit Xhaka sitting deep, Partey and Tillemans. I think they can really play. I think that would be such a good formation, but he can also interchange together with Thomas Partey. Maybe he can come on. Maybe he can come on from the bench, because with Granit, Partey, and Martin Odegaard, that midfield at the moment is complete, and that's why I think that maybe Yuri Tillemans can either start with Thomas Partey playing as a DM, and him as a central midfielder, or he can start from the bench. You know that our first choice pairing for the midfield is Granit together with Thomas, so I think that maybe Yuri Tillemans can come in for either of them, either Granit or Thomas Partey, maybe depending on the tactics and how the manager prefers. And that his contract is almost running out as well. I think that he has a 1-year contract at the club, and that a fee in the region of £25 million. I think for a fee of around £25 million, he might be able to secure his services come next season. And I think that this is another quality player. The second player on my list is Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong of Barcelona. This is a player who is blessed with vision, technique, dribbling, passing, and I think that he's just one of the best players, and one of the best. He's not only one of the best players in the world, but he's also one of the best central midfielders. He works really hard. He's good on the ball. He can really shield the backline. He's brave for such a young lad, and that Barcelona this season, I feel like they are struggling to balance their books, and that if you were to offer them a good fee, maybe of around £60 million, I think that they might be tempted to part with Frenkie de Jong. And I know that Frenkie is quality, and for me as an Arsenal fan, I think that Frenkie together with Thomas Partey will really form such a midfield, quite a midfield partnership, and one protecting the backline or another one given the freedom maybe to roam around with the ball. And this is another quality player that I think that the manager should really consider bringing to the Emirates Stadium. He's an Arsenal fan, as he has declared in some of the online posts that he wanted to follow the Mark Overmars route. Mark Overmars started his playing career at At Ajax, he moved to Arsenal Football Club, then Barcelona. But Frankie said that uh, yeah, that there's no harm in starting from Ajax, then moving to Barca, then to Arsenal. I know that he has already declared that he's an Arsenal fan, and that this should really motivate us to go for such a player. Remember that he's young, and that this means that he has lots of playing time, and that he's one of the best, and that this is a name that you should really consider bringing into the club. That player on my list is Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves of Wolves. He has played in the league for quite some time. I think that last season we could have signed him for around 35 million pounds, but I think the manager opted for something else. And that this season, I know that his price has really skyrocketed. I know that for 35 million pounds this season, I don't think that we will sign Frankie. I don't think that Wolves will allow Ruben Neves to leave for 35 million pounds. And this is a player who is known for his vision, his passing, his shooting, his scoring. His work rate is also quite high. He scores world class goals. His passing is just one of the best. It reminds me of Paul Scholes, that loves to switch the play to the different flanks on the pitch. And it's also one of the top quality central midfielders that will improve any side. Now to the fourth player on my list is none other than Houssem Aouar. Houssem Aouar plays for French side. He plays in the French league for Olympique Lyon, and that Houssem Aouar as well. His contract is almost running out. His contract expires in June 2023, and that I don't think that is going to extend. In the Ligue 1, he has managed to play 36 matches. He has scored 6 goals and provided 4 assists. While in the Europa League, he has played 9 matches, scored 2 goals. He has a record of he has a Ligue 1 record of 214 appearances, in which he managed to score 39 goals and provide 33 assists. This is a player who is technically gifted. He's diminutive. He's small, but he's good on the ball, and that he rarely loses the ball very easily. He's very hard to dispossess. He likes to dribble and open up space. He does 1-2 kind of football. He can play as a central midfielder or maybe as an attacking midfielder. I think also can play on the left wing. And he is such a good carrier of the ball from the deep. I think can carry the ball so much ease because he's good on the ball. He's fast, and that he's technically gifted, and he has been linked in the past. He was linked to the move to Manchester City. I think that there was a time when Pep Guardiola wanted to sign him, and this season I think that with Leicester having the possibility of losing Yuri Tillemans, then this is a player that has also been linked to the move to Leicester City, and I know that Houssem Aouar is an incredible player, and that he'll really improve any side that he joins. Then lastly is none other than Ilkay Gundogan of Manchester City. They've had so much success together with Pep Guardiola, and I don't know why Guardiola wants to. I don't know why Guardiola wants to. I don't know why Guardiola doesn't want him to extend his contract at the City. He's very experienced. Currently, he's 31 years old. And for those who remember, he scored the winning goal against Aston Villa in the last game of the season to hand Manchester City the title. This is such a decorated player who has won quite a number of titles during his time at Manchester City. And I know that Gundogan is one of the best central midfielders, and that any team should try and sign him. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about the left back position. The left back position, currently our first choice is Chiarantini, but Chiarantini has really struggled with injuries, and Nino Tavares has struggled as well this season. But and we've been linked with the move for Aaron Hickey. Aaron Hickey plays for Bologna in the Serie A. I haven't seen much of Aaron Hickey, and the other name that comes to my mind is Mark Kurela. And in the left back position, this is an area where I like to suggest that maybe you guys should propose. Who do you think that maybe we should sign in this position? And last but not least, I like to talk about one area of the pitch that I think that I am convinced that we should sign another person. I know that currently the player that plays in that position is Martin Odegaard, and I know that so many people have been impressed with Martin Odegaard, but I really feel like we can do some. I think that maybe we can do much better, and I made a proposal for two players during my last videos. I mentioned Christian Eriksen, currently at Brentford, and Isco Alarcon, and these are two players that I think will really improve our side if they are to join our football club. And this is an area that I like everyone to really consider about it, because I know that Martin Odegaard, so many people have been impressed with Martin Odegaard, but I feel like we can do better. And I would like to know what your thoughts are. Do you think that maybe we should sign another player for this position, or that maybe should we keep Martin Odegaard and just let him thrive in that position? For my suggestion, I think that we don't need to sign another winger. I think that maybe we should move Martin Odegaard to go and play on the right hand side together with Bukayo Saka. I know that he is quality and he will thrive on the wing as well, but my suggestion was that we should sign another attacking midfielder, and my two names that I've just mentioned are none other than Christian Eriksen and Isco Alarcon. Now, I would also like to say that we should sign players early this time. We should not wait till the transfer window comes to an end. Then that's when we'll sign our players. I think that you should do our business early and let them join the pre-season and maybe see how we can integrate them into the team. Now I'd like to thank everyone for your time for watching this video. I'd like to encourage everyone to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this and everything that I've just said today, and that I hope to see you next time. Thank you.